Alright, this is the Value Funnel Blueprint. It's an approach to building sales funnels where you focus on providing as much value as possible. And the goal of this training is to teach you to double your profits and get your students better results than ever before without needing to change what you sell or do complex marketing. And if you decide to work with us in the future, we'll do it completely for free until you double your profits. And today is the last module. Last time we already covered the market, the offer, the message, and today we're going to cover your funnel and give you 3 high converting funnel examples at the end. Let's get into it. So high converting funnels, it's actually really simple if you have your market, offer, and message dialed in. And because most agencies, most freelancers, they only focus on the funnel and they don't look at your market, your offer, your message, they don't take the time to understand it. That is why they don't get results. And building a high converting funnel is actually really easy. Number one thing you want to do is to make sure they only have one action. Your customers only have one action they can do, which is maybe putting in their email, maybe it is clicking buy, maybe it's booking a free consultation, and that ensures that they're not confused as to what they're supposed to do, because if they're confused, then they won't buy. And number two, it's you just need to clearly communicate your market, your offer, your message. You just need to clearly communicate what we did in the past 3 modules, and it's really as simple as that. And why are funnels so effective? It's because that they take advantage of action momentum. So that's when your customer makes an action and then they're motivated to do another action. And it's kind of like how you're doing housework or something like that. You don't want to do it, but you do one task. Maybe you make your bed and then you get the motivation to do something else. It's kind of like that. And here we have interest in your products on the y-axis and time on the x-axis. And as they watch more and more of your content over time, they'll become more interested, and maybe they'll go and get your lead magnet, which is on your opt-in page. And once they take that action, they'll have more momentum because they'll see everything you have in your lead magnet. They'll see how valuable it is, and that's also why you need to make your lead magnet super valuable so they have more momentum to buy your other products. And that's when you want to upsell them. And depending on if they take your upsell, maybe you upsell them again, walking them up the value ladder that we covered in the offer module, I believe. And if they don't take it, you can downsell them, maybe with a payment plan, maybe with something cheaper. And that is really how you just take advantage of all their action momentum. And a big mistake people make is sometimes they just let them opt in and then they don't upsell them immediately. So you're wasting their action momentum there. And eventually, after they look at your lead magnet, they go through your lead magnet, their interest will eventually peak and then it will return to baseline. Because just like how every time you bought a new thing, you were excited, you were really happy for a short amount of time, and then you return to baseline. And then you need to provide more and more and more value to get them to take another action. That's why you need to take advantage of action momentum the first time. And this is maybe an example of some of your sales funnels, which is not really optimal. Here, maybe you're selling a $9 ebook, a client getting guide, and when they buy it, you send them to a thank you page. And this is not taking advantage of any action momentum. And if you look at the average order values, $9, $9, $9, the average order value would be $9. And here is a slightly better funnel, a really simple funnel, but as you'll see in the examples, the simple funnels work better than any complex funnels, because sometimes in complex funnels the customer will get annoyed because you're selling to them too much, and you want to find a perfect balance between taking advantage of action momentum and selling so much that you kind of annoy your customer. And usually 3 upsells or 2 upsells is the best. And here we see you have the $9 ebook, the client getting guide, but if you zoom in here, you can see that there's a little checkbox. This is an order bump where you can add the client getting resources for $9. So $9 and then another $9. And if they buy that, you can take them to a $100 course, your client getting accelerated. And if they buy that, you can send them to a one-on-one mentorship and they can book a free consultation. But if they don't buy that, maybe you downsell them to something like a payment plan of your $100 course or a cheaper course, something like that. And if we look at the average order values here, if 1 in 3 add the order bump and then if 1 in 3 buy the course, then this is our average order value, $9. If they add the order bump, that's $18. If they buy the client getting accelerated, that's $109. And we just went from a $9 average order value to a $45 average order value. And that's not even including what you'll make from the consultations they booked on this page. And that's why upselling and downselling is so important. You can make so much more money than if you just sold them once. And making more profit means that you can invest into what you're doing, you can invest into your marketing, you can get more clients, you can get more customers, and overall you can just grow your business really fast and also deliver your customers better results. Yeah, but what about the leads that don't go through your whole sales funnel? Maybe they went up half of the value ladder, but there's still more to go. Maybe they only took your lead magnet, maybe they didn't go the next step. And that is really what email marketing is for. Like your funnel, leads go in, customers come out. And there will always be some leads that don't go through, don't become customers. And what you want to do is you add them to your email list with email marketing software, and really you can just market them again. It's almost like recycling your leads. You can put them back through the top of the funnel, feed them back to the top of the funnel, and that way you can convert a lot more customers. And the best thing about it is that it's completely free and the leads you have are already semi-warmed up because they already went through your funnel. And an example of this would be something like this. Maybe they go to your $100 client getting accelerator and they don't buy. And then you can send them a follow-up sequence. Maybe the first email you're like, hey, I saw you got the lead magnet because that was part of the sales funnel. You give them the lead magnet and say, hey, I saw you checked out the $100 client getting accelerator but didn't get it. And then you tell them the benefits, you tell them you make their pain more painful, their desire more desirable, more intense, just like how we showed you in the message module. And then you'll send a follow-up sequence, follow-up email campaign that's completely automated. And maybe it will be around 3 to 5 emails to not annoy them, but also get the most out of your customer, and that will increase your conversion rates significantly. And if they still don't buy it, or if they already bought it, then you can send them out to your newsletter, your broadcast list, which is another name for it. And in there, you can just provide more generalized types of value. Maybe you can feed them into your content or direct them to another part of your value ladder that we covered in the offer module. So as you can see in the newsletter, we can funnel them into downsells or content, or if they bought that, we can tag them with the email marketing software and try to funnel them into a higher step of the value ladder. And as we've talked about before, you need to find a balance between short-term sales and long-term relationships. You don't want to sell too much where you destroy the long-term relationship, but you also want to maximize the profits that you make. And why giving value is so important is because the more value you give, the more you can sell without ruining the long-term relationship. And a good rule of thumb here is in your content, in your emails, what you want to do is you want to give 90% value and only sell 10% of the time. Okay, so now you know how email marketing works and how funnels work, but what do you actually put in them? How do you structure them? So as I said before, there's two main types of emails. You have a follow-up sequence and you have your daily newsletter. Follow-up sequences, these are completely automated with email marketing software based on the actions that they take. And maybe they visited your funnel but they didn't buy, so you send this follow-up sequence. First, you want to welcome them and tell them what to expect, make them excited to open up your emails. And then next, you want to tell stories about how you realized your opportunity and why it's better than everybody else's, why this new thing will actually get them the results they want. And the next email, maybe you make their pain more painful, their dream more desirable, and you give some social proof. And then finally, you want to end with a scarcity and urgency, and you want to give them a call to action to put them back into the top of the funnel and convert them again. And in the follow-up sequences, you want to mainly provide valuable information. There's two types of value you can really provide in your emails and your content. One is information, the other is entertainment. Well, in these follow-up sequences, you want to provide mainly information. And if they don't buy, or if they already bought, then you can put them on the daily newsletter. The daily newsletter, you can talk about what happened, you can give stories, you can talk about FAQs, you can give free value, maybe funnel them into your content or another lead magnet, or maybe even funnel them into a higher step of your value ladder. And then maybe you can tell more stories, maybe you can give some controversial ideas or provide some inspiration. And with the daily newsletter, the value you want to provide is mainly entertainment and only a little bit of information. And that's basically really the two types of emails you have to know. And there are four main types of funnels. The first is the lead magnet funnel, where you give something away for free or for a cheap price. Maybe sometimes you may have seen like a free book, but then it upsells you to cover shipping and handling, and then upsells you, maybe you need to cover, maybe you want to buy the ebook, maybe you want to buy the resources that go along with the book. Or maybe they're offering a free training, a free workshop, but then in the free training and the free workshop, they upsell you something. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to disguise the free training and the free workshop as a sales video. Because if they find out that it is a sales video and they're not getting the value that you promised, the trust will decrease and they're very unlikely to buy from you because really you lied to them. So you actually want to provide value. And the next type is the quiz funnel. This, you don't really see this as much these days, especially in marketing course creators like your industry. So sometimes maybe they'll put in a quiz, you can answer some questions, you can qualify leads in this quiz, and then once you get the quiz, you can get their emails and say, where should we send this to, where should we send the answers to, right? And then you can maybe give them a free case study based on the answers they answered, or maybe you recommend a product based on the answers they had. And another one is the challenge funnel, or sometimes you may call it a summit funnel or a boot camp. And really what you want to do is it's kind of like a multiple day event where they put their email in, and every day maybe they receive new trainings, maybe they receive a new goal, a new task to complete, or maybe they interact with their community, you guys hop on live calls and talk about things, something like that. And then at the end, what you want to do is you want to upsell them on, maybe if it was a free training, you can upsell them on getting unlimited access to the recordings and not just that day. Or if you had online calls with somebody, you can talk about maybe upselling them on your course or upselling them on your mentorship. And the final kind of funnel is the presentation funnel. And the presentation funnel is, you want to use this to sell more higher end products. Maybe it's a bunch of VSLs on a sales letter. They watch the VSL, they go to the next page, another VSL, another VSL, another VSL. It's a bit longer. Or this could include hopping on sales calls and talking with someone one-on-one. Or it could be maybe you invite them out to, let's say, a physical location and you're on stage talking. That's another type of presentation funnels. And these are the four main categories of funnels, and most funnels will fall under these categories. And that's it for the funnel module. And as you can see, it's really simple. If you get your offer right, if you get your market right, if you get your message right, and now we're gonna go look at 3 example funnels that have made millions, maybe hundreds of $1 million for their creators.